And welcome back to 3 Dope Dash. Your homeboy Fred. Freedom to my homeboy Chris.
Yes, sir.
And my homeboy Randall.
Yo.
Often heard but never seen my homeboy Nick.
He can't speak.
He ain't got no mic.
He ain't got no mic. That's all right.
I know. I guess he can't say nothing this week. My bad. If you notice on the couch this week, we got a special guest, head coach of Purdue Polytech High School.
Yes, sir.
So we got Shy Holder over here, Coach Holder, and Coach Holder Ball on Instagram.
Man, I feel
Welcome
like
to the
you got to give him like a Club Shay Shay introduction, man. He need a little bit
I
more.
was trying to. I thought about. I went through his LinkedIn.
You fumbled the ball,
I went
man.
through his Facebook. I was like, all right. I felt like it's too much though. We know each other. I feel like it'd be a little bit too beat and creepy.
What a Club Shay Shay introduction is.
It's an extravagant.
Say the same thing.
It's an extravagant
I've only ever seen
introduction.
He goes deep. He's like, how did you know this? He said people say that to him. I thought it might be too creepy. I didn't want to. I thought the sweatshirt was enough. I thought that might be too creepy too. Like you might say something when you saw me.
I was thinking it. I was like, are you wearing that because I'm here?
He absolutely is. I've never seen that sweatshirt in my life. In my life, bro, I've never seen that sweatshirt.
Man, we got some Purdue gear just for the show.
I'm about. I found it.
My man was like, I'm gonna kill him with
My
this
man
one.
went straight to Lafayette.
We actually went
drove
to
an
Purdue
hour off.
like a couple months ago together, and you didn't
We
wear a Purdue
did.
shirt.
We did. Well, it was hot outside then too. I was in shorts. I was comfort mode back then. But yeah, man, welcome to the show. Like, comment, and subscribe. 3 Dope Dads on Instagram right now. It's kind of blowing up. Got a dad joke for you guys. Dad joke. And what? Or why did the Atlanta Braves hire a baker? And why did the Atlanta Braves hire a baker?
It's something to do with bunt cakes.
Nah, they wanted some more batter.
Dad joke. High quality dad joke.
High quality dad. That's
High
a good
quality
one.
dad joke.
A dad joke, man.
That's
Bro,
a good
I
one.
turned the dad joke thing on Waze in my car.
Yeah.
It's got like, I don't know if it's Middle Eastern or Indian, but this dude in an accent telling dad, it's excellent. I suggest everybody do it. I'm not, they're not paying me. I just want you to know that the dad
Really?
jokes are
I
great.
didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start using Waze now when we go out of town.
At one point, he was like, take a right. You can't go wrong. Lost it. It was so corny. It was beautiful. And the way he like sung it to me.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
My man got that poo doing his directions.
Yeah, I don't know who it is. I don't, like I
When he
said.
get to his destination, thank you, come again.
And I was
Thank you,
very
come again.
careful not to go into full accent mode like you just did.
My bad.
I was really trying to say it how he says it.
My bad.
Shout out, man. I got some dad news for you guys. Some things I think you guys might find interesting. First story right now. Sperm banks in Indiana are paying $1,200 a month for sperm donations.
Man, what?
$1,200 a month. Indiana only. $1,200 a month. You, I don't know how often you got to go.
How do you know?
$1,200 a month.
Because I'm about to get a vasectomy, so it popped up on my
That's what I was
Instagram.
about to say. I already
See?
got one. That's a bad investment now.
See if we can get a 2-for-1 deal. I need one.
Can I sneak in and they don't know I had one? Can I get a couple dollars? Maybe I get
Go
a
ahead
couple.
and get that first one off.
Get a
and then
couple
find out.
off. Let me get. I don't need the full 12.
You just want to be.
Let
You just want a little something for your donation.
me get the
for my
6.
time.
Like maybe they need the difference. You need to know the
Okay.
difference
All
between.
Serious question. 'Cause
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never, I hate to be the Debbie Downer situation. Like, do they want black sperm? Because I've never.
I don't know. This came
You
from my
only get
Instagram.
400. You get 400.
You know somebody's going in there talking about I want to make an athlete.
Come on, true.
Think about
Show me
yourself.
pictures of the daddy. How tall was he?
In my mind, I've never pictured a woman going in there and requesting.
They actually do
They
have
have a
like a
Mandingo
book with
section.
There's characteristics.
They have a book with characteristics though. And like this came from a male. He was white male, 6 foot tall, and he did this as a profession. Like that's how they do it. Not that I know this personally. I was down bad.
I believe that though. I didn't tell you anything.
6'2", real street nigga. You a little gangster out here.
That's
Nah.
the first one I got. And the second story is the Dolphins, not the sports team, but the animals, they have bromances. And so dolphins hook up with other male dolphins for like 15 years, and they help each other get girls, female dolphins. But I thought that was interesting. 'Cause
So
I
they get
have-
wingman. You get
Yeah,
like
that's
you
it.
should get a
Finman.
Yeah,
It's
Finman.
Finman.
You sure you get to a little. I thought you mean like they hooking up like they
No,
was like.
it's not
I've
any
heard that too.
homosexual.
I've always heard that.
Because
I
clownfish do
have.
that. If the woman dies, the biggest male clownfish will become a woman, and
Really?
take over. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I didn't
then-
know that.
That's true.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a little weird.
That's
That
true.
is.
But
Isn't that what
But-
Nemo was? A
yeah,
clownfish?
yeah.
Yeah.
So like I think
So,
that's where I seen it at. Technically, the dad, him be even the deformities after the male. So technically, Nemo's mom could have been his uncle.
Dang.
That's
Okay,
the
now we're just
2025
going down
version
a
of Nemo.
really
Crazy.
morbid path. Let's move on. Carry on. Carry on. What were we saying about Dolphins?
Let's go back to the Dolphins.
The Dolphins were innocent.
The Dolphins have romances. They help each other get other female dolphins, which I thought, they say the dolphins have the closest mind to a human, I think.
Yeah, they got like 15%.
Yeah. Which I think is,
12%. We got 15.
they out there being dolphins or wingmen.
Dolphins. What was
it? I was about to say wingmen, but then I said dolphins, so they dolphins.
Shout out.
Okay.
I like Shy Brother from a dolphin. Hey man, come holler at my homie real quick. And a dolphin there, so they'll pull up right up on you. I don't see.
Yeah.
What you doing, girl? How you doing? You new to these parts of the Mediterranean? All right, man. The next one I got is, I brought this up because of Shy, because I actually sent this to him in a chat a couple of weeks back. But the Yankees have a thing called a torpedo bat that they're using now.
Oh my gosh.
It's legal in the MLB in every way. It's a legal bat to use, but it's been making home runs.
Yeah, but I said, did you see that first game? Like,
Yeah.
Aaron
The
Judge got
home
like 3
season
home
opener.
runs.
Okay,
Bellinger
yeah.
had one. Like it was like
Yeah.
9 home runs in like
Yeah.
2 innings. It was stupid.
So, what do you guys think about the bat? You've been a baseball player, baseball coach, and your son's an athlete, baseball.
You sound like y'all already had a conversation. You've already got a full opinion on this.
We didn't go.
Well,
we
we
didn't go.
didn't go- I
Super
sent it to him, yeah.
We didn't go super in depth, but it's. I don't want to burst everybody's bubble, but it's a lot about nothing. It was just one of those things that
I don't think it's a big deal.
they just put out, and it was a good story, and the MLB grabbed some headlines for a couple days, but the game that they played that day and the way they performed had nothing to do with the bats. The bats are not new.
Yeah.
They were around last year. A lot of players from other teams have the bats.
Oh,
It's not.
And ain't nobody.
it's not
You
a-
still
it's
got
not a
to put
thing.
wood to ball.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
that's the thing.
yeah.
Like it may change. You give you a.
yeah, I
few
heard it was
extra
just a
feet.
section that they
Yeah,
moved. Like
yeah.
it wasn't
so
that
it's not
big
like
of a
it's
deal.
making
So
you
it's-
hit the ball any better.
And it's also doing its job because, like, my son, they started selling them publicly.
Oh,
and my son
yeah.
was like, "Oh, can I get a torpedo bat?" And I was like, "What they don't realize is, one, even if you go down to like the Louisville Slugger Museum and you ask about how they're made, like there is a part of the bat that's harder than the other, which is usually where the label is. That's just like a manufacturing thing. It has to be there for the way they print it and the way they produce it.
Okay.
All they're doing is baseball is a data game. They have the data on how every hitter hits and if they're hitting off the knob or off the handle, or everyone's sweet spot is different depending on where. And all they're doing is making sure that the label is printed on the part of the bat that over 1,000 swings this hitter took where they've hit it the most, so that they're hitting it on the hardest part. It's not like rocket science. It's something.
Yeah.
It's just like common sense.
But
And some people don't like the bats. Like I was watching I know like Max Muncy from the Dodgers. A lot of other players have them. They're like, I swung this last year. I hated it.
Oh, really?
So it just depends on your feel and what you like.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are custom made. You can't just go pick up. Like
That's
a lot
what
of
I was
people
about
thinking,
to
I'm
ask.
gonna go pick up. No, like they are custom making this off of data, off of
For
your
that
height,
individual
for
person.
that
That's what I was about to
individual
ask.
I didn't know
player.
that. I didn't know it
And
was
you
that deep.
can, that's why I was telling my son, you can go buy one now in retail, but it's not
Yeah.
going to benefit you because
No.
it's not
Made
it's
for
not
you.
made for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know they
I
had
think
custom
it's all
bats.
it's a cash grab.
Oh yeah.
Of
It's a
course it
cash
is,
grab,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like that's what it is. It's a brilliant cash grab. Like Shai said, they're not new. I don't know what else to say about him that he didn't already just tell y'all. He covered it, but
And they look weird. I
other
think
than
they
the
look
pictures,
different.
the pictures
Yeah,
are still mad.
they do look
Pictures
weird.
are still mad though.
Yeah, I
That's
can't
what's selling
lie.
them.
If
'Cause now
they're
they're-
cut, like the fact that you said that they're customized, it makes me think that there has to be an advantage to it.
Well, a lot of bats are customized though. Like a
That's
lot
what I'm
of-
saying. But like if you
Every
take it, if
baseball
you
bat is different.
Yeah.
every baseball bat is different. But if you're
Like, if
taking
you're a
my
major league
average of
player,
a swing,
you're going in and
that's
you're
what I'm
getting a
saying.
bat
Think
made
about it. Think
specifically
about it.
for you
Think
anyway.
about the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
Right? They can do ridiculous things on the basketball court because they practice specific things, right?
Right.
So if I know my swing is a certain way, eventually if I like it's a data game, I know I'm gonna go against this pitcher. He's gonna pitch against me a certain way. If my bat is designed for me to hit my sweet spot at that right time with that certain
You still got to put the
you
wood
still
on the
got to
ball.
you still got to put
Yeah.
but I'm a professional baseball player now. That's what they do. Think about it like Aaron Judge. He's gonna do it.
And not if it's the postseason.
Hey, that's great. That was fantastic, brother. Hey, that was great. Nah, but
I'm not-
seriously though, but
Not
like,
even a hater on him. It's just facts.
but I gotta say, I can dig just in general. Yeah, there's no advantage, but when I
Nah.
think about it on a professional level, like there's certain guys that's an advantage.
Yeah.
There's
Certain-
certain.
If anything, it's an advantage mentally because I always tell my assistant coaches this when we're talking about like where to put players and what catcher to put pitchers. Like it don't matter what we believe, the player has to believe it. So if
Yeah.
the player believes it's an advantage, it can be. But
I like that.
the way
I like
bats
that
work in the
thought
MLB,
process.
like each player pays for their own bats.
yeah.
They put in orders to have them made with whatever type of wood they want from whatever type of company. Some of them have like contracts with different companies, like whether it be Victus or Marucci or whatever. And there's all different type of handle models. You might want an end-loaded bat. You might want a balanced bat. So it's just another variation of that already.
But the thing I had to realize is a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
They think
Right.
this is something new, and guys haven't been getting these bats completely customized up until now. So they're like the regular, just casual baseball watcher guy
This
doesn't
is-
know that.
This is just the next variation. This is like
Exactly.
a car with. We thought heated seats were cool. Now they have now they have cooled seats and,
Yeah.
and heated steering wheels. It's just
Heated steering,
it's just
heating
another
cool
thing.
steering wheel. Just another,
Absolutely.
another
And I
point.
think
I got you.
When I learned that the ball players pay for their own bats, like I look at broken bats completely differently now because every time I
Oh,
see
yeah.
a broken bat, they got to pay to order a new one.
Yeah. And how much do bats usually cost professionally and at your level?
It just depends. For a wood bat's not designed to last the whole season.
Oh, okay.
So there's something actually called a bomb bat, which is wrapped in like bamboo, which is technically not wood, it's grass. But like high school players that swing wood bats or like high school summer leagues or college summer leagues have to swing wood bats. Those last longer. But for like an MLB player, they'll probably start the season ordering like 20 and then they'll reorder halfway
Dang.
through. So for like the
You making MLB money though. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter
it
at that
can range
point.
anywhere
You
from
can probably write that off somehow. That's a work expense.
probably.
That's a work
It's a work
expense.
expense.
But for my level in high school, everyone has to use a certain standard bat, which is called BB core.
That BB core.
So it's going to range anywhere from,
okay.
I say the best budget bat you can get is probably 175.
Okay.
It'll go all the way up to like 600, just depending on.
Ooh, I was gonna say five,
Yeah,
600.
I think
They're
my
climbing
son's
every
was $350, but I
Dang.
think we paid an extra $50 to have his initials
Yep.
in the
Yeah.
the wrapping
Okay.
customized.
Shoot, I guess I ain't because we caught it on sale and we paid $450 for my daughter's
Dang,
bat.
bro.
Yeah, they
Tough
not. Yeah,
bats ain't
they
cheap,
they
bro.
not.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And I thought the school provided the bats.
No,
As
the
I-
school don't
Definitely
provide
not. So in
a damn thing.
some schools, depending on who your coach is, they will have like team bats. Like my buddy that coaches at Nicetown, but he's well connected because he owns like a travel facility and everything. So he has like team bats that they swing that he's gotten through sponsors and stuff like that. If you go to like depending on the college, like Louisville, for instance, I'm guessing they swing Louisville Slugger bats. It makes sense.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Get all
it's
those
right
for
there.
free. So
Yeah, I would hope that'd be great. Yeah.
So basically, if your school has a contract, like down the street, like Warren Central,
Yeah.
they have a contract with Adidas. They have to wear Adidas jerseys. If your college has a contract with Easton or Louisville, even if you don't like that bat,
Yeah.
you got to swing it.
Oh, dang.
But there'll be different tiers of bats with each company. So
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
Victus or Louisville, they'll have an end loaded, they'll have a balance, and they'll have a light swinging bat. You have to pick one of those. Even if your favorite brand of bat is something completely different,
yeah.
if you're contracted that way through the school, that's what you got to do.
That's
Okay.
rough. That's rough because a lot of players have a bat that they stick to or a brand that they stick to because
Yeah.
you know
they
the
into
bats
it already.
change and they improve it, and unless something drastically changes about that bat though, like they stick to that brand because that's what they swing.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that, like having to change bats
Yeah.
based on the school. Like that would be rough.
My favorite thing though was when like watching college baseball and then you'll see somebody swinging a bat that's just old as hell. It's like 12 years old, but it still fits the brand
Yeah.
guidelines because it's a Louisville Slugger from like 2017,
Yeah.
but it's still a Louisville Slugger and they can swing it.
Okay.
So every now and then you'll see that. But typically, like in college baseball, really in all levels of baseball now, youth baseball, high school, most guys are swinging like the same handful of bats. To be honest with you,
Man.
like if you're if you're 13 and below right now, you're probably swinging what they call Hype Fire. That's the hottest bat right now.
Okay.
And then high school, Atlas is super hot. Rawlings Icon for high school and college. So there are bats that have been proven to perform better than others at the high school and college level. And durability is a big issue.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Because you're paying $500-$600 for a bat,
Yeah.
you want to make sure it
Yeah.
lasts.
I
So.
need I need that one to last the season, man.
And that's if you don't be playing in no league where you got to play for all these tournaments too. You know?
I can't imagine tournament playing with a bat.
in softball, they swing metal bats, and so ain't nothing worse
Yeah.
than hearing that bat. And you can tell when my daughter swung her bat and it went dead. I could tell. I could hear it. And I just, I ain't even going to tell you what I said on the sidelines, but I just knew I had a bill coming. Like, it hurts,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
That's how you know you love your children.
I will say though, they do become great home weapons.
Of
I
course.
got a couple.
They
I got some customized bats. I crack them.
Breaking this house you want to.
Come in if you want
I mean,
to. Getting my
that's
money
a last
worth.
resort. That's when after I run out of bullets.
I'm getting my money's worth.
Man.
I
But
come
having
in like
Shaw
Casey Jones.
Nope, let's move on.
having Shaw on this week. We Chris said something in the chat about something about coaches. I can't remember what it was specifically.
Just talking about the importance of coaches in children's lives, and like, because I have 3 daughters. They all play different sports, and so every time, and I remember I was talking with my wife about my daughter's love of softball. It grew with me, but it blossomed with her first coach. Like, she really
you can see the
got
growth
her
in her when she got
her
with that coach.
to love the game and to embrace the game. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Shout out Coach Shannon. But so and that relationship, it's rough because that's how I measure every coach relationship, and it's not everybody lives up to that.
Yeah.
You know,
How long was she with that coach?
they were together, 3-4 years.
Oh yeah, that's some
You
time.
know,
in
like
there.
and
yeah.
those very formative years as well. So
Yeah.
it was a lot of training and I think the thing that I got from her is development is always key. I think a lot of coaches don't develop; they just win, and then when they stop winning, they don't know why.
They don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, you didn't develop, So that was a very important thing that I learned even back then, just watching her working with 8, 9, 10-year-old girls.
Oh yeah.
So it was a beautiful thing to see, and it let me know what to look for in a coach. And so I guess my thing for you is like, my first question for you would be like, what drew you to coaching? What was important to you? Why do you think that was important for you to go into that? Was it something that you always wanted to do, or just something that happened organically?
As I say, as a kid say, it's not on me, it's in me, I guess. So it's not usually. It's not something I ever anticipated myself really doing. Like, it's so funny because I spoke to a middle school on Wednesday or Thursday this week for like a career day thing, and I told all the kids like I never saw myself being a varsity head baseball coach. In reality, I thought I liked that I was allowed to dream, to think that I would be like rich and retired by now. I'm not. But if anything, if I was no longer like working in media, which I did before coaching, like I was like, East Far East side of Indianapolis, like football is like the biggest thing here. Like I'll picture myself being a head football coach somewhere. But what I learned is through coming up in coaching is like so many people love football over here that it's always going to be taken care of. But I saw these other kids like I cared about, like no one gives a damn about what we're doing over here baseball wise. All the baseball is just like, dying.
Yeah.
And we have to go to Hamilton County, which if you're not from Indianapolis, we got to go to the rich suburbs 45 minutes away to get good coaching.
That's where I play.
Missing dinner with our families and paying all these fees into other communities and watching them put the resources back in their communities. And then over here, we can do the same thing, but we're not.
Right.
So I was like, okay, football's going to be cool. And I started out coaching just like they just needed some organization. Like I'm a detail-oriented person. My son started playing football. I'm like, oh, they need some help. Let me go in and help them be organized because this is kind of a mess. And from there, went up to being like a coordinator, to a head coach, to like marketing director, and then to the president of like youth football for the whole township, helping at the high school and all that kind of stuff. And then that's when I transitioned to baseball. So I'm like, they need it. Everybody cares about this football. No one cares about these kids over here. Let's give them an option at home. And from there, just had enough success to where it, put me on the radar of high school programs. I got, reached out by a JUCO program actually over this past summer.
Shout out.
Let it be known, the pay is not good for a JUCO assistant coach. So it wasn't even something I really thought about. But that's kind of my journey, man. It's like, as Coach Prime Deion Sanders said, he always talks about a calling. He's been called to such and such place. Mm-hmm. It's just really something that called me. I don't know how long I'll be doing it. I know when I'm not doing it. I feel like a piece of me is missing, but also I'm at the point where I go back and forth depending on the kind of day I have between, I could do this forever and I'm about to quit today. So it just depends.
I want to say shout out for starting off with your son, though. You know what I mean? Getting into it in general, just seeing the need in your own child's life. I picked up on you saying that. I just wanted to say that's dope because that's not something a lot of people do. Like my son played all kind of sports. I ain't never helped out none of them. Not one. Nah,
Hey,
you know what I
took
mean?
to practice and whatnot.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But it's still, you know what I mean? When people, like, it's hard to get volunteers for that. You know what I mean? Like, it just is because, like, granted, I didn't do it because of my work schedule during the time when he was playing. But I understand, you know what I mean? To get in it from that point of view, from that starting point, it's not easy. So that's what I wanted to say. That's dope.
But we as present fathers who are there, all of us in this room, like, we all have our own sacrifices that we've taken for our children. Mm-hmm. For you guys, it might be different, but for me, it was doing this thing. It's all different levels of sacrifice. Like, my schedule at the time allowed me to do this thing, but you sacrifice in other ways. You guys will sacrifice in other ways. And hopefully that's the stuff that they'll remember as they get older and realize as adults, like, they really sacrificed for us. It's not as easy as I thought.
I hope so. He tried. He put in effort.
Nah, I told you, my son said he'd be cool if I kicked him out right now. He just turned 18. He don't care.
I said you run the experiment.
I said, just sitting there watching.
Let's test your hypothesis.
There was a movie like that. Dude was rich and gave up all the money. I got to figure out what that was.
It took me until like recently to figure out, because I'm like, you ever thought about yourself, like how old you are now, and then like how old your parent would have been in this situation where y'all were in life. And I realized, like, they were just winging. She was just winging.
Yeah.
Like,
It's on the fly parenting.
Because I would go to my mom with some things and be like, ask questions and what's going on with this and life and bills and our next move as a family. And, like, they'll never tell you, but they scared shitless.
Yeah.
It's like, but
Terrified.
and that's one of the things I try to teach my players. Like, at some point, because we talk about body language a lot in my program, at some point, you as the man of your household are going to be scared shitless. And you can't let anybody see that on your face. You got to be able to kind of keep everything steady, and you're gonna figure it out. Because you're gonna figure it out. But you have to. What I say is building transferable skills. That's my whole thing in coaching. That's a skill that you're gonna need to have. And I can't guarantee you're gonna be a better baseball player when you're done. But I'm gonna try to make sure you're gonna be at least more prepared for life. Be a better person.
Absolutely.
Better man.
Just to piggyback, how important is that mentoring from a coach? Because you see it from some coaches, and then the other coaches are just there for that particular sport, and that's their sole purpose. And that doesn't necessarily make them bad coaches, but I think there's more to that dynamic when there is mentoring and there is encouragement going on past the sports aspect.
The biggest leaps we take as players in my baseball program are the conversations we're having after practice, in the hallways, on the car ride to and from schools, because that's when things like resonate. So I think that's the biggest thing. And two things that I'm really proud of. One, I think that even me thinking back, like, I did not have a male teacher until I was like in the 7th grade.
Yeah.
And that was just for like 40 minutes. It wasn't even a real classroom teacher. It was someone teaching specials or CAD or something like that. And I didn't have a black male teacher. Have I? I don't even. I'm trying to think.
I'm thinking about. I don't think I have.
Yeah.
I had one.
I had one.
In high school,
I just saw him at the gym too. I had one. I saw him at the gym.
I think I had a counselor at middle school, but it was not with him every. You know what I mean?
I had a black female counselor. She looked out for me.
Yeah.
So it's like, I didn't grow up with a dad, so never really had. And I grew up with uncles, but you know how uncles are. They're not there. They're in and out. They, nephew, what's up? Why you doing? You know what I mean? Never had like a man in my life tell me, good job, you accomplished this. I'm proud of you. This is the path you need to take. So the difference is what I tell people, with, not to get on the diatribe about men versus women, moms versus dads, but I've gone through this personally, especially with my boys. moms want to prepare the world for their sons, but dads want to prepare their sons for the world.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Agree
so
with you.
that is what I try to give these kids. A lot of these kids don't ever hear that you've done something well, that you're appreciated, that hey, you did that wrong. That's not right.
Mhm.
Do it over again. And even me not growing with that, like I have some blind spots where I'm like, I probably a little lazier than I should be if I grew up with a man in the house, because like I am my son's biggest supporter, but I'm also his biggest hater. And and I think that
I'm the
that-
biggest hater.
that they need that balance.
Of course.
But also one thing that I'm super proud of, baseball being like a white dominated sport,
Mhm.
especially as it continues to grow with like travel baseball. And said, you guys have been in softball, same thing, is that somewhere subliminally, like the implicit biases are being knocked out of these young kids, because I don't think it's easy for a white parent, no matter where your allegiances lie, whether you're a great person, whether you're anti-racist, whatever, to say, I'm going to send my kid and trust his future and everything to play for this black head coach.
Mhm.
Because there's so few of us, but it's somewhere in their mind, these kids, when they become hiring managers or bosses or any decision makers in the future, it's not even going to cross their mind that a black person can't lead. Like
Yeah.
they have to go
Because
hire
they
some-
had that
'cause
black
they-
male
Yeah.
role model. Yeah,
So
that's
they're really-
actually dope.
They're really going to be judging off of the content of the character. Let's say you're hiring somebody for a job. They're going to be judging. I know he can lead. I know black people can lead.
Yeah.
It's not even going to be in their minds. It's just going to be like, are you right fit for this?
Wow.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's like the thing that I'm like by far the most proud of. Even my own little way. It's not.
Yeah.
It might change someone's life one day. It might not change the whole world, but like I know that probably each of us in this room have missed out an opportunity just because someone said, I don't know if a black person can lead. They might not have said it on
Yeah.
purpose in there, but there's an implicit bias in their head.
Yeah.
When they see a black person, now, look at the last election. I'm not saying the person was, I'm not saying who should have won or not, but statistically, data-wise, probably the most qualified presidential candidate we've ever had in history. Some people just said, woman can't do that.
Mhm.
They've never seen it. And it's the same thing, I think, with when you look at a black man in leadership positions, because we get passed over a lot. And hopefully one day when these young guys
You
and
ain't
girls
never
are making
lied.
decisions, it'll be a little better because they can see that, yeah, black people can be competent. Yes, they can lead. And just doing my little part.
That's what's
Shout
up.
out.
We appreciate it. Believe me,
for
the
real.
kid.
Like that's. Go ahead, you finish, man.
I
I'm
was about to
sorry.
say the kids. I see because I watch your Instagram a lot and I watch your TikTok and I see the way you interact with your team and the joking things you say with them and the serious. I'm not gonna say man to man talks, but the serious talks you have with your team is like kind of affects me sometimes. Like, can I learn something from this man? I know this man. Can't learn nothing from him real quick. Not on Instagram. We ain't seen each other face to face in a while. But yeah, just that impact of through just the screen, it still helps. I don't know. I just
Nah, it's true, man. It's good to pick up. It's good to have good male role models. I can think of almost all of mine, really.
mhm.
Like I can think of, like most of the male people I can think of, like impacted my life. Like I know them by name.
There's definitely a top three.
Like
Yeah.
I got a list
Easily
of guys.
three that come to mind.
No, I got more than
Oh
three.
no, for sure.
I got a
There's-
list.
but I'm saying there's three that had the most effect.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you. Like I said,
You know
I
what
got
I'm
you with that. The list I got like that though, mine's is the ones who I've known the shortest and impacted me the most, and they're all white guys. And and I think I'll even change the list because they're like, and I only bring this up because of what you said. I met, like, the moment I met them, I knew that there is nothing in their head that sees anything different from them, from me, from the color of my skin.
yeah,
They only expect of me what I'm saying I can do,
Right.
and they treat me exactly. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I guess, and there's no difference in like, and I can think of three guys, 3 old white men I knew
So,
for a fact.
I guess let me ask you this question: as a black man in that space, did you have to come up against some of that, just in general, in leading yourself? Did some of that come on? Did you have to come against some of that subconscious racism, or just have you noticed a lot of that against you?
Because I mean, it's a statistical fact that people typically hire people that they see themselves in. So
Right.
white people are in charge; they hire other white people. If
And that's not even saying they're racist. It's
No,
just
it's
that's
just
just
habit.
facts. Yeah, absolutely.
implicit bias.
Right.
So even I'm gonna take it back to Arkansas because we're not too far from Warren Central High School right now.
Mm-hmm.
Great football program. They've won 9 state championships. Quarterback, supposed to be the biggest thinker on the field, smartest person on the field. Shout out to their starter, who's one of my former travel players, by the way. But quarterback, almost always white. Head coach, always white.
Yeah.
Never
yeah.
had a black one. So they this is part of my, because I drank the Kool-Aid for a long time, and like being proud of where I'm from, and I still am, because I wouldn't be who I was without going to the school I went to and living in the community I did. But like, it's not because black people aren't applying for that job.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
You're
applying
right.
at a very high rate, at a high level. So if we need all these leadership qualities and we preach this diversity, why is the leader of these young men never? I'm not saying he's not never.
Yeah.
It's never a black person.
Did you say that? And I think about it.
But that mirrors in a lot of different programs who have the
Yeah.
makeup that we do. So I say that to say this, because I know guys who have applied for that job, and it's the same thing in baseball. When it comes to black men and coaching in general, they tell you that you need more than what they tell the white coaches that they need. So you need head coaching experience. Last hire they made up there didn't have head coaching experience.
Right.
Yeah.
He was a coordinator. But all the guys the black guys that they've turned down before that, they've told them, we want you to have head coaching experience. This guy didn't need it.
And what about he ended up being the athletic director. I thought he was head coach for a moment. I can't think of his name. He's a black guy. Was a
Marcus Clayton?
Yes, Clayton. Yeah.
He could. I think he was the one that would have been. I heard talks about them wanting him to do that, but he wanted another path for himself, which has worked out, because he's went from social studies teacher to a coordinator to admin to athletic director to now like he's the CFO. So some people's paths are just different. Some people don't want to coach for life.
Yeah.
I think he could have been the one to be the first black head coach had he chose that path. But my path is like, I wouldn't get a township school job. I still probably could. Matter of fact, this is so funny. The Warren Central job was open for baseball.
Yeah.
They had, I was told by someone on the inside, because I still live out here. I got lost. They had 3 or 4 people apply. I was one of them. I was called by parents of players that are currently on the team. Hey, this is open. If you're interested,
Heck yeah.
apply for it. We're gonna go bat for you. So I had, and I was not interested in the job until people tried to convince me, because it's not a good job. Like the players that you're gonna get are in the conference that you play in, the surrounding schools. They have better feeder systems, better youth leagues. They have all these travel baseball teams. We have like nothing like that here. Sectionals the same way. But I started to think about it. I was like, I don't know if I can win like a sectional here. I know I can't win state, but I can leave it better than I found it. A lot of the guys there that are good right now are guys that I've coached, and I know how to get the best out of them. 3 guys applied, 3 other guys. It was either 3 or 4. I was one of them. Did not even get an interview.
Dang.
And this is with the outgoing coach who they wanted to keep, who's one of the best coaches in the state, said, this is your guy.
What?
With all the history you have there at the school?
And the coach said you were the guy?
And teachers, I've had 2 teachers. So one of the head assistant basketball coach, get him in here. He's a guy. The leader of the broadcasting program, get him in here. He's your guy. Parents, he's the guy.
Didn't even get an interview?
No interview.
No interview.
As an alumnus, you should get an interview.
You would think,
I'm about to say, that's a little wild that they didn't even look at you.
I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, because being a manager in corporate America, I get a lot of what you're saying. Like honestly, it was like I had to check boxes twice. I felt like some days, like
and it goes back to what we're saying, because now, and I talked to Marcus about this. Marcus Clayton, he's not in that position anymore.
Man, that's still rough for me to deal with.
If he was in that position, at minimum, because I've interviewed with him before for other jobs in the building. At minimum, I'm getting an interview, and I know me. If I get an interview, I'm killing it.
Right,
You can go another way if you want to, but it's not going to be because I didn't interview well. Now there was a white person, old white man in that position, but as we went back to saying, implicit bias. I'm hoping that when my kids
I don't know if that's
position,
implicit at that point.
Well, I will say out of
Let's just. I'm not saying that
No.
you're saying that.
Out of-
From the way I'm looking at it, it's just hard to call that implicit after you've had several
didn't
people
say-
endorse you.
so also my older brother played for the athletic director, and we talked about that. That was the whole thing. He was one of his favorite coaches. He loved it when he got hired there. So I had that family tie as well. But in high school, sometimes like your duties are split. So like the head athletic director might only be over football and whatever, and then the assistant AD was the one that does like the baseball hiring, whatever. It is what it is.
I'm not
Still
throwing
should be
stones.
that
I'm just saying it's
Yeah.
hard for me to think that's.
I don't.
agree.
He was deliberate. He raced. No.
My man got to live in this system still. So
Yeah. But and I have no problem saying it. Like I don't need. Like I'm fine if that never happens for me. If I never
Right.
coach anywhere like that again, like I'm fine with it. But I don't like the process because if it's happening to me, and I'm not the first person it's happened to, because
Right.
I have friends that I've graduated with, or friends that graduated after me, some who have even won Mr. Football, shall we say, who feel the same way. They were done the same way when it came to interviewing for a position there. And I think
Yeah.
part of it is that sometimes people still see you as kids if they saw you growing up. They can't see you as an adult.
okay.
And another part of it is that implicit bias that I hope when my players get older, they'll be able to say, I don't care if he's black, I know he can lead.
Right.
Yeah, of course,
The best
yeah.
coach I ever had was a black man.
Right.
I see, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So didn't get an interview, and lo and behold, old white guy hires old white guy.
Dang.
No
Slightly
connections,
yes,
Not
slightly
even-
less younger white guy.
no connections to the community.
Oh.
From Hamilton County, I believe.
What?
Good dude, I like him a lot.
No, that's
but-
nothing against him. He was
Yeah.
trying to get a job like you. Like,
No varsity head coaching experience.
Man.
Like,
oh.
and dude runs a great like travel organization, all that. So I'm not capping on him. He's giving a lot to the kids, but
Right.
the reasons that they give you as a black man are never the reasons they give other people.
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
Because you have a lot of compliance in high school sports, so you got to have making sure they've had their physicals, the right amount of practice days, make sure their grades are
Right.
this and that.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of travel coaches don't get hired because they don't have history with that compliance. I do. I've been an athletic director. I've been a varsity head coach. I've had that experience. That's why I do understand when ADs say I want somebody with head coaching experience because it's one less thing for them to worry about if you've already coached high school sports. And to go out and hire guys that don't have that in a candidate pool, which was not large. One of the candidates that actually applied was somebody that they actually had fired before.
Dang.
So I'm like, okay, you don't have to tell me
Trying to
twice.
spin
So
the
it was
block.
just you and the white man then, and
You don't
then
have
no
to
white
Spin
man.
the block
Yeah.
on him.
You don't have to tell me twice how you feel about me. I
Hey,
don't even know that
if-
he actually applied. They might have reached out to him about it. So
You want your
Man.
job back?
So,
Yeah,
but-
you got
Jeez.
that was just they just had to put the notice out.
Yeah,
Type of
they-
situation,
They already
probably.
made
They-
that decision.
It's the route that you have to go, though.
Yeah.
And some of the people, when they found out that I didn't get an interview, were more upset than me because they were like, he told me he's going to call you right then and there. He was like,
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
He said he talked to you. I said, I've never talked to this man before in my life.
He said he talked to you. Oh, yeah. It's deliberate.
Dang,
So,
all right.
I say it to say that's my path, and usually black coaches' path. You got to go coach in IPS. But you get just like in like college sports, they go to HBCU where it's impossible. You don't have the resources.
Right.
Go prove to me that you can do the impossible for me to give you a chance to do something that's possible here. So
Man, that's a good way of putting it, too.
first varsity head coaching job I had. Shout out to my guy Terencio Davis, black athletic director. Second one, Scott Hicks, black athletic director. And now the school I'm at now, we have a white AD, but he's anti-racist, super cool. Like he's one of the kids that I'm helping bring up now. He's kind of what I'm hoping. He's what I'm hoping they'll be.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
him. Yeah, that's what's up.
So he doesn't even see color. He just sees the best person for the job. He's like, literally, he didn't even have the job yet. He just knew he was getting the job. He's like, I haven't even officially signed yet. I'm letting you know, you're my first call. Like, let's get this done.
That's a good
That's
Straight
friend.
up.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we gotta. It's a whole thing. Like I can tell you, like even speaking. Well, I can't even say the school,
Yeah.
but
We
there we all know Brandon, my best friend.
Of course, Brandon. Yeah.
He will tell you he was very good friends with a Division I Power 4 college football coach who recently got fired, who was a black man. And he can tell you that what they were telling him behind the scenes and what they promised him, they never delivered on.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the new head coach comes in, old white guy, here are all the resources we didn't get this last guy to succeed. And
jeez.
it's just that's a recurring theme
Yeah.
in coaching. We want you to prove you can do it with nothing before we give resources to you. But we'll give this other guy the benefit of the doubt. Happens all the time.
Where's your black excellence?
Yeah.
Right. I thought you had it.
Thought you was a strong, independent black woman. What's wrong with you?
So it's our fault when we fail, but we're not giving the resources.
Yep.
Nah, man, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's a real rough drop.
Like that whole little spiel you just gave.
It hurt my heart.
Yeah,
dog.
knowing no interview, knowing that they said that they talked.
Otherwise,
can't
you know what
cry.
I'm saying? Like,
Trust me, because I've had some job interviews I've been mad about, but nothing that's so like, hey, I might be able to want to do this for a living.
Yeah.
And that's like, to be treated like that in one of those situations I've never experienced.
Yeah.
Because everything I've ever done is just jobs. And dog, I'm sorry you had to deal with that for real.
What I say and what someone told me when it happened is, what's for you is for you. And I just had another coaching friend I told this to a couple weeks ago. He's like, man, I've applied for all these jobs and I'm not getting a call back. He's a white guy, but even he's going through a similar situation. I haven't gotten a call back. And then I applied for this job. I saw he actually applied for a job that someone else that we kind of know got. And I'm like, yeah, you're a way better head coach than him. Like, I know his work. You're better than him. But what I will tell you is what is for you is for you. So what I went through sucked.
Yeah.
right.
And it made me,
Right.
I wasn't even mad. Like, I was hurt. Like, I'm like the biggest cheerleader for everything we're doing over here, and I can't even
You are, yeah.
interview, right? But I realized when I'm here, I'm happier than I've ever been where I am now. And I'm like, okay, it was just, this is for me.
That's what's up.
And you can't really question whatever you believe in, God, Allah, the universe, whatever.
Yeah.
You can't really question always how you end up where you are, but what's for you will find you at the right time.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out.
I got a question for you. What is your you've been there since last year. And what is the legacy you want to leave behind at Purdue Poly? Like, what do you want to leave when your time is up, when you're done coaching or coaching forever? When you leave there, what legacy do you want to leave behind? Other than a legacy of winning.
I want to clarify because we get in trouble for this all the time
Yeah.
because they confuse us. We have two campuses. So
Oh, my bad.
Broad Ripple.
Broad Ripple, my bad,
Yeah.
my bad.
We have an Inglewood campus that is like on the
Inglewood.
near east side.
Inglewood.
On the near east side. People confuse us all the time, so we're trying to make sure they don't.
Yeah,
we're
my
both great.
bad.
We're both great schools. We're trying to differentiate that. My thing is, I just want kids to be better off than they were had they not been in my program or had they not met me, whatever that might look like. So there was this back when I was still working in radio. I was working at Emmis Communications. I was doing marketing for those stations, WIBC, 1070 The Fan, all that kind of stuff over there. And I had, maybe it wasn't there, maybe it was somewhere where I was working, but there was a lady that I work with about my age who was like going back to her hometown in the middle of nowhere, Indiana, for like a retirement celebration for her head coach. And she's like, look at these shirts we had made. And the shirt was something along the lines of like, you can't hurt my feelings. I played for coach, whatever. And I was like, I want one day, I want that to be.
There you go.
Yeah. Like I want that to be big. Like, because it is a stark contrast you can see, because I have two kids on my team that I've coached for a while. And I can see how much better prepared they are, how they move around in the school, how they're on time more, how they're a little bit more accountable, more responsible, and they're not, the most important, they're not like sensitive to criticism.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
They will accept, yeah, I messed up, I shouldn't have did that. Like, you know what I mean? Which are things that sometimes I wish I had more when I was younger. There's things you go through that hurt. Like, I wouldn't have liked having a dad over me like that, but I would have been better for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff like that. I just want to be somebody. Every now and then, a parent will text me and say, my kid quoted you last night. Like, 'cause I got a lot of,
That's what's
something they're
up.
saying,
Hey, shout out.
something they say to their kids in 10 years. Like, you know, just
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. And shout out to you guys being best start in school history, 3-1 right now.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, there
I
we go.
appreciate that. We got rained out today. It could have been we could have added to that. But
That's what's up.
Sorry, my daughter did
We'll
too. So I feel you.
we'll see how it goes. It's always the games you feel like you can win that get rained out. You know, if you feel like you're gonna get, stomped, you can guarantee it's gonna be sunshine.
It's gonna be a bright sunny day.
Come on.
It's gonna be sunshine.
Out there
Lovely
dancing, trying to bring out the
day.
class.
Yeah.
All right, man. Before we go ahead and close out this show, do you guys have Any advice you want to give? Anything you want to tell to the people out there? Shad, you have anything you want to?
I actually brought you. I didn't know Nick was here. I sort of brought one. I'll get him back. But I got these wristbands.
Oh, shout
So
out.
we have a motto that's kind of followed me,
Heck yeah.
and now my kids are actually saying it to me. So it's so what now what? That's what we say. So
yeah.
People use it as kind of like a when something goes bad to move on, which is what it is also. But the origin of it was actually my teams were something good would happen and they would dwell on it and then stumble and I got a hit and now I'm on first base celebrating and I got picked up.
Yeah.
Like I got so it works both ways. So what now what? And I actually had one of the coolest things is I had something going on in my life. I was really down about something that happened. And I posted something in like my Instagram notes or whatever that was emo sad boy. I'm a Pisces. And one of my players from last year who doesn't even play for anymore, but he's like one of the best human beings ever coached, just commented, "So what now what?" I'm like, you know what? You're right.
Shout out.
You know, you're right. Let's use this energy to figure out solutions instead of not changing things that we can't.
Yeah.
So
That's dope.
That's kind of a motto we live by. I got those for all my players and a lot of the staff at the school, so they can kind of
Yeah, I do like that.
use that
This,
to motivate themselves.
Yeah. So we
much
appreciate it, man.
go on that. I'll get you a shirt, mate. Hey, shout out to the two school logo too, man. It's supposed to be the Lynx, and I was thinking it was Zoids, like Liger Zero on there. Remember Zoids, the old cartoon?
I
Y'all
would have
remember?
said Power
Someone
Rangers with
else
the
has said-
Joys.
Someone else said something like that to me. I don't
Voltron
know who
or
created it,
something.
but yes, yeah, there's some sort of tie into that somewhere.
Somebody was watching
Okay.
Zoids.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see
I
what you're
see it.
saying.
I see it. But
I don't know. The one thing I will
say.
say, something I've been working is as I think the father, the man in the household. I think it's your duty to bring order. I think that's been lost. We were talking about masculinity the other day, and that doesn't mean that mothers and women can't bring order in the house. It just means it's your job to do it. So if it's not getting done, it's your fault. So that's what I would say. Like I said, y'all know the last few years have been really tumultuous for me in the amount of people I've lost and some of the things that have happened and occurred. And I think somewhere along the line, I became very lax. And so I think that was my fault. You know what I mean? I slipped in those things. And so, you know, the past few months, I've been regaining order in my house and just making sure that I'm disciplining my kids, not necessarily disciplining as in giving them whoopings, but just letting them know, like, discipline. This is like, we going to set patterns. We going to do this. This is how we going to operate. And it's now starting to come to fruition. You know what I mean? You got to go through those growing times and that resistance because you didn't get here overnight. You know what I mean? So don't take it all out on your kids if they not, that's not their fault that you weren't being who you were supposed to be. That's your fault. I had to eat that. You know what I'm saying? I had to realize that and eat that. So, but also understand that once you start to fix it, that it's also your fault to see it. It's also your responsibility to see it all the way to the end. See that work till it's finished. And so I would say that to every man, whether you live with your kids or you get them on the weekends, it's your job to bring order and to be consistent. I think that is the one thing that's missing in a lot of men is consistency, emotional consistency, being there as far as consistently for your children. Consistency trumps everything: toys, money, shoes, clothes, gifts. All of that is trumped by consistency. And so that's what's really been on my head. That's what I've been dealing with. And so that's why I shared it with y'all.
I respect him and I appreciate it, man.
Man,
Stay
shout out, that's
consistent out
dope.
there.
I'm gonna be gone consistently. My fault.
I'm gonna drive through line consistently, son. Do that Big Mac, you know my order, baby. Get that Big
Disappear.
Mac, large fry, McChicken. But we want to thank you guys for joining us. It's been Three Dope Dads. It's been your boy Fred Freedom, and Chris, Shy, Randall, Nick. Random fact of the week: every MLB
Nick waved
baseball.
at the camera and nobody could see.
My favorite part.
Because usually he hollered, so the wave just goes with the speak, and we don't think anything of it.
That's what's up.
Dang.
Consistency.
Wishing you well.
I would dab you up, but you would be in the
Consistency. Hey, random fact. Every MLB baseball is covered in mud from a secret location in New Jersey. We catch you guys next week. Peace.